Good evening, Packers fans. Once again, we are live from Stadium Drive. I am Matty Day.
I'm Tommy Burns.
And we are celebrating 5 Packer victories in a row at Soldier Field with our 5th episode of this wonderful web series.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Totally, man. So good of you to join us. We're a thematic show. And the Packers are a schematic team. Mike McCarthy going into this game, 2 keys to the game. Looking for big play production and turnovers. Managed to get both. Let's talk about the big play production. Thomas, how'd you feel about that offense this week?
What a roller coaster of emotions we've been on so far this year. But you know, it kind of touched on it last week. Let's focus. Hand the keys to Rodgers and let's pass first. And man,
turn
they
loose.
didn't. Out of the gate, first 5 plays passing to guys that you hope maybe got in the mix, like Rodgers with the big completion down the field. I mean, this is what we expect to see. This is Rodgers, and you know, over the years, whether it's the draft or people slandering whatever, you know, the Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder. If that's what it takes, man, this was.
Yeah.
He was in on all cylinders, and we'll touch on the running game or whatever, but when you're consistently putting up points like that, it's hard to lose. I mean, it was what we hope to see.
Totally. Great day for Tim Mastay. Let's get special teams out of the way right away. But yeah, no punting. The only time the Packers didn't put points on the board was when the Bears blocked a field goal.
Which props to Willie Young. I mean, he just timed the jump, got a hand on it. Peppers was known for doing that, and a couple things stolen out of the Packers playbook maybe, but I'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll flow there.
But
let's talk about those. It was an historic day for the Packers wide receivers. For only the second time in franchise history, you got 2 Packers receivers breaking 100 yards and having 2 touchdowns in a single game. Hadn't been done since 1968. Boyd Dowler and Carroll Dale. They don't name them like they used to.
Those are good names.
Boyd and Carroll.
That's America.
Jordy and Randall. Yeah.
Jordy and Randall.
Randall. All right.
But and how was he able to do it? He could have written a novel or you know, made a quilt back there. I mean, yes, Chicago Bears are not the most intimidating, you know, pass rush, and Jared Allen lost 15 pounds with his pneumonia, they said. But I mean, when you give Rodgers that much time and your receivers are starting to be confident, I mean, you saw again, we talked about last week about when a play breaks down or when you get into those extra seconds looking for somebody to get open, and you saw Cobb doing it.
Yes.
I mean, he was running around. He got in there and he did his little wave, and when you're just moving like that, you have the defense back on their heels, and they're, you know,
dude,
if they committed to stop the run like that and then allow us to get those one-on-one matchups and everything, you saw what we could do, and damn.
Safe to say Randall is fully recovered from that leg injury last year. That touchdown,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
Randall, well done. Run game. No, let's hang on. Other passing stuff. Devontae was involved. Richard Rodgers, we maligned him.
Yeah.
Many maligned him. He didn't care. He got out there and had a big couple of grabs early on, and that's cool. I mean, you got to spread that ball around, not let the defense know where the ball is going. So love seeing the other guys get involved, especially Randall, especially. Yeah. Get number 2 going.
And Richard Rodgers, he's a hands guy. He's a possession guy. He's not, you know, your big, heavy-bodied tight end. So to utilize him where his strengths are, and the 2 tight end set. I mean,
yeah,
you know, him and Corliss. It was.
How about it?
You can do so many things out of that, especially when you have 2 capable tight ends that, you know, like to see more of that. And man, that hurried up. That was like a hurry up, man. We were
hustling.
Those. I mean, you look at our drives, all averaging 2 to 3 minutes. With that amount of points that we put up, wow.
Jeff Saturday was at home watching it, just breathing hard, just watching it. The rest of the O-line did pretty well. couple of calls on Corey Linsley, negating like the coolest Aaron Rodgers touchdown play maybe ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That
was impressive.
Negated or not, that's still going to be like on a highlight reel.
The play still
like
stands. All 22 players were still playing the whole way, so you can't say it played. Didn't count, but it happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was rad.
Yeah.
That was rad. He did come out guns blazing this week. Yeah. Running game, still just conspicuously absent. I don't know if Eddie's just playing tentative since he
looks like it.
Well, I mean, he had his bell rung twice in as many years, man. I mean, that sucks. You start to stack those up, man. I mean, that's serious stuff. Dude from the Lions, I think we talked about. Javid Best. Yeah. That stuff can end a career. If he's worried, then I don't know. I understand it, but you can't go away from your identity. That's the kind of runner he is. Yeah. But if he's not going to do it, where is James Starks, man? Yeah. There was no James Starks whatsoever in that game. I don't know. I think that was a missed opportunity for a dude who has an average of 5 yards per carry.
Just give him a handful of carries. Just try him out. Yeah.
Just try it. Eddie's not hitting the holes fast, and I don't know. Some of it's just lame play calling, trying to bounce him outside. Like that's not the dude. Like that is not his style.
Yeah. The one thing I'll come away with and still say I'm not overly concerned because of the trend, the way that this offense is going. If we can continue to pass first and spread them out and make them do double teams on the outside and make them do two at the top of the defense, that creates your running opportunities. We should and are be a pass first team with the best quarterback in the league.
True.
And let that develop, let defenses go that will open up those lanes, that will open up those opportunities. We have the offensive rookie of the year and we have two guys that we feel pretty good about because we like Starks, and Harris, when he gets the opportunity to get a handoff, he runs hard. So
he's in a contract year too, so that dude's gonna be fighting if he gets an opportunity.
Yeah. So,
but yeah,
struggles, but
it's running. You saw some benefits of even just the attempting to run, good play action stuff, some good screen games. Like this was the most exciting Packers offense of 2014 by far.
And schematically, early on, the Bears were playing the run. So did that lead to some of the success of the passing game? I would venture to say yes. So one hand feeds the other,
Yeah, baby. Oh, I love it when the Packers win. This show's so much more fun.
So much positivity.
Yeah, it's palpable. So the other thing that Mike said, Big Mac going into this game, it was offense. He wanted big plays, got them. Defense wanted turnovers, got those. Who came up with those, Thomas?
Tramon Williams and Sam Shields.
Well, Tramon kind of.
Or I guess, yes, Clay Matthews and Sam Shields. Sorry, you want to do that?
Nah, fuck it.
Okay.
Tramon, okay, so let's talk about that play because that was pretty nuts, and there's a lot to chat about there. Tramon jumping a route, did it last week too. This one bounced off his arms and into the ever-loving arms of Clay Matthews. And man, that was a huge, huge turning point, just getting the ball there in a shootout type game. Those possessions are gold. And
tip the scales.
Totally, man. And could have been tipped even more if you had a healthy Clay Matthews out there.
That was a tangible sign of the limit of his injury. I mean, he could have housed that ball, and he's still Clay. You still have to count for him. But if you see that happening, you obviously have to think down by down when he's passing. He is not reckless out there. He is he's not worry-free. I mean, he is concerned about how much torque he's putting on the groin area. So
totally. No, even running it, he was like looking over his shoulder and stuff, and instead of just blazing away.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance? Would you rest him this week? This is going to be something that could really hinder him for the year.
It is. It's one of those lingering injuries that you could see if you don't give it time to rest and heal up, especially on a short week, where if it's sore and aggravated and then you trot him right back out there and risk a re-injury, like,
yeah,
man, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it's
put the onus, sometimes that step up, when those other guys, your Neos, your Daytones, your Perrys, your Peppers, when they see the guy sitting out, sometimes it elevates their play. Now that's, again, a gamble to play, but would I rather have Matthews out for 1-2 games right now than the last half of the season?
I mean, if you sit him against like a not great Vikings team, it's a calculated risk. You gotta win this game. My goodness, you gotta win this game. But at the cost of a healthier Clay Matthews.
And did you see? I saw it twice. It was almost on 2 plays in a row. I couldn't tell if it was like a jack up fist pump or if it was like a ow, but Clay was right in there around the tackle, and there's a lot of contact going on, and he ripped his hand out like kind of like a
really?
Like kind of like a thing, and you didn't see him looking at it or do anything like that, but it felt and it looked like guys going in like kind of get it out of there quick to avoid anything. So I don't know where the thumb is at. You got the groin, again, long-term, short-term. I mean,
yeah.
What do you how do you play those cards? I don't know.
Star Wars it, man. Just give him a new digit. The other interception was classic Bad J. You enjoy that?
There are certain joys in life that are unique to that, whether it's getting your license or graduating from high school,
That's not a
getting married, having your first child. There are few things that give me the joy like Jay Cutler interceptions. There are interceptions, and then there are Jay Cutler interceptions. And, I'm kind of a quiet guy during games. I don't really talk too much, but damn, when there's one of those, it's just like, I have this passion and love for Jay that is, it's such a schadenfreude phenomenon, but
yeah, it's
and then it came a little later. It didn't come earlier. Kind of like, is he going to give it to us? Is he going to do it? And,
right.
He gave us 2, almost 3. And the way that game was called, looking at that, I thought maybe they'd give us that third one.
Yeah, totally.
But he was, and it was at the critical times, and credit to that Bears offense. I mean, they put up numbers. They kind of pushed us around a little bit, but we held them to points. We made key stops, which, we get into ha-ha and everything, and Micah Hyde being in his best position.
Play of the year.
Could. Yeah. And then just those turnovers to just take those drives away and
the Bears were very, very productive against the Packers. Yeah. Right from the start, we defer the toss. Yeah. They march it down 70 yards, and that's game on right there. Packers responding, of course, but looking early and playing out that it was going to be. It had every bit the look of a shootout, and for those turnovers to come into play, steal a possession. I mean, that's huge.
You saw a contrast. Are those quick drives that we had compared to the methodical drives the Bears had? Is that a point of concern? Because I mean, if things don't work with those quick drives, if you don't get those big plays, those 30, 40 yards or whatever, it's feast or famine if you don't get those, and then the amount of time you are putting your defense out there.
Yeah.
You talk about the wear and tear in the Jets game at the end. You talked about us getting, a little spiced out and everything.
Yeah. That's
a
good point, man.
We love seeing that high-flying, explosive offense, but I also want to see kind of being able to control the ball, control the time of possession when it counts.
Sustain it.
Yeah, and thinking that a lot of that goes to a successful run game.
Yeah.
But also your checkdowns, your slants, your screens, your high percentage throws within the 10-yard line. There has to be room for that, because I think it
right.
could be something that back and forth. I don't know. It was.
Yeah, I mean the run game. Like we said, that you wanna see it sustain like the Bears did, and they certainly had the run game going. Matt Forte, 122 on the ground, throwing even more receiving for him. Packers giving up a league high 176 yards per game, which wow, man. Rough. It was almost 500 yards total offense that the Bears were able to do on the Packers, and that was, man, somehow they got those couple of stops. There were some wacky calls going both ways.
Yeah, it really burned both teams, game-changing penalties. But
yeah,
to stay on Forte's success again, the one item that maybe is encouraging or to consider, and again, it's kind of living by the gun, dying by the gun, but I said, as we were talking about this, one thing I would almost rather be, the way we run our offense, I would rather be a little bit more suspect on the run than on the pass, because if we can continue to put up the points like we should and make things high touchdown, turnover affair, get ahead like we did. You saw the Chicago Bears abandon the run game primarily, and when a team is getting behind like that, no matter how much success they're having, no matter who's running the ball, they're going to move away from the run because they have to pass to put up points.
Yep.
And when they're pressing, just like Jay was pressing, it presents turnover opportunities. You know, we can commit more guys to the blitz if we know they're going to run pass heavy, make them one-dimensional. Again, it's not something you want to hang your hat on, but you can see how that works in our favor. And you've seen a lot of teams who have successfully done that. I mean, I think to some Peyton Manning teams where, you know, it's pretty much like a Dwight Freeney and that defense. You know, they were built to go after teams that were playing from behind.
Yeah.
Speed rushers, not your big thick guys plugging up running lanes, but.
So our best run defense is a good offense at this point?
I think so.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fortunate for that Packers defense that they saw less of Matt Forte as the Packers started to pull away. Because, man, that was just nuts. The gap assignment was just rough. Yeah. Or just good blocking by the Bears. I mean, do they finally have like a decent O-line?
Yeah, that, and we just don't have, I mean, you know, Pickett, Jolly, I mean, those big bodies.
They missed him. They missed Big Grease pretty good this last game, and of course it's just days after he signs with Houston.
I was going to say, be keeping an eye on him down in Houston and see if maybe he has kind of a chip on the shoulder, a resurgence perhaps, because you know fresh. The peg on him was he was, you know, his age was catching up with him, but
long in the tooth.
We'll see.
Yeah, but beyond that, defense.
I want to take a moment to kind of give an honorable mention, or kind of a maybe epiphany, or like, you know, when you're growing up and, you know, they say if you kind of see someone being picked on, it's one thing to pick on them, but if you're not standing up for somebody, or maybe worse than the people that's getting picked on, I'm done taking A.J. Hawk for granted.
Oh.
Everybody thought, you know, 5th overall pick, he, you know, should have been our Urlacher, he should have been doing so much more, but always up at the top at team tackles, durable as all get down. You could write a textbook on his tackling technique. He's got the brains as the Mike linebacker to, you know, to make the calls.
Be the quarterback of that D.
Yeah, I mean, and you just saw him stick his nose in there, and this new phenomenon in recent years of his helmet flying off. I don't know about, you know, what's going on there. He talks about like he's OCD about his chin strap touching his face, but again,
really? He tried to explain it?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, but again, I don't remember seeing that for a number of years. But all that aside, I mean, I think we would realize how much we would miss AJ if he's not in there. He's an easy punching bag. But again, he was number 2 in tackles this week, and he had the assists, and he is a football player.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to wave the flag for AJ now.
I will wave. I'll help you, man. Yeah. We'll have like that army moment where we stick it in the ground.
Oh man, that'd be nice with his big face on it. Also, he was on Jim Rome this week, and apparently he's got the Hawk Cast.
Oh yeah,
podcast, and he's. I
think Brett Michaels was his first guest or something.
He interviewed an astronaut. Like, he's just kind of interviewing people that are interested in him. So
all right,
hey, hobbies, man.
Cool. Hey, maybe we'll work out a little mashup there.
Yeah. Little chat.
We'll go on his show. He'll come on ours. I'd say it's a pretty fair trade. Any other notes on this Packers defense? You like what you're seeing out of Ha-Ha?
I do. It seems like he's catching up with the speed of the game. I mean, that Martellus Bennett showing the strength on that 6'6" beast.
Yeah.
To just pull him in.
Yeah, that was very big in the goal line.
And just seeing him sniff around the ball, I mean, you see his physicality. You see he's got the eyes. You know, I'm getting pretty excited about Haha. What do you see?
Well, I think anybody who's put on Martellus Bennett right now is really gonna kind of have their hands full. But a big part of the Packers' game plan going into it was stopping Jeffrey and Marshall. They limited those guys to 6 catches for about 60 yards.
Pretty average numbers.
Yeah, so that was tremendous for those guys to stop that. Brandon Marshall wouldn't even talk to reporters after the game, so they were doing something right.
Yeah.
We need better run defense, man. I mean, I like your theory on or like how it could work, but
you can't.
It's not doable. This game felt so much like the 2011 Green Bay Packers, and you suddenly get a defense. I mean, we've seen it this year even, like with the teams that can just have like they don't have to blitz, they can just rush.
I was going to say, when a Detroit Lions-ish team can send 4 and get the necessary pressure.
Right. And then this wasn't a good like pass rushing D-line. They're not even a good run defense, and we couldn't get going on them. So it's...
Yeah, everybody was saying this was the week that our running game should come out, and given we didn't commit the carries to it like we should have, but there was no reason to.
Right.
With our success in the passing game and the meager, just the meager results of when we tried to run the ball. So
yeah, maybe that's just how they open it up. At this point, though, the great ancient rivalry of Packers-Bears, Chicago still has the lead. It is now 93-90-6. Packers creeping within 3 victories, Chicago.
To see something that historic be that close is pretty cool.
Yeah,
just appreciating and everything, and that, you were saying before, Rodgers has helped us make up a lot of ground, NJ. But you could see that thing evening out pretty damn quick here.
Yeah, totally. Stick around, Jay.
Yeah. I'm your biggest fan.
And now, your favorite part of the show, the spin
Stadium Drive
around the division.
We begin with the division-leading Detroit Lions going into New York. New York playing their 3rd NFC Division North opponent to foe, which I thought was interesting how that was all set up. But
that was weird.
But Lions went in there, continued success, moved to 3-1 behind a pretty stellar day by Matthew Stafford, doing without a Calvin Johnson essentially, who.
Ankle injury?
Yeah, and was really out of it for the most part. But Golden Tate had a big day, and there was even Bush. The New York run defense did stop them. It's not like they did much with Bush or Bell, but their defense.
It's a great run defense.
Was right there, and Stafford made the throws, and seeing them being able to do it without the best wide receiver in the league, although Jordy's coming for him. But,
he is. If Megatron's hurt, Jordy is the best.
Who
right
do you
now.
have to say? Yeah, right now.
Right now.
But they pulled it away, and I mean, I guess looking at it, the one big takeaway that I'm going to look at that is making me think differently about the Detroit Lions is the man steering the ship, Jim Caldwell. I'm a fan of head coaches that are steady eddies as opposed to fiery guys. I mean, when I think about that, Mike McCarthy's, really a steady Eddie guy. Your Bill Belichick's, even looking at all of coaching, Phil Jackson or Joe Torre. I mean, I'd rather kind of have that guy keep it even keel and not have too intense ups and downs, like Harbaugh.
Fuck Pete Carroll.
Yeah, than the kind of the kind of coach we're dealing with. So if this talented team has discipline and can eliminate those penalties and mistakes and inconsistency that were the bane of their existence, then hey man, it shows. They're 3-1. I mean, you can talk about quality of opponents and early on and this and that, but win and loss is what matters.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it.
You think the darkness is your ally?
I just want to do Bane impressions. You want another
Vikings?
Oh, they're gonna say like you want another radio call-in show. Like,
I was actually this close to calling in today, and pretty.
What was the topic?
Is it real or mirage? What we saw from the Packers this week?
Man, it's one of those things where most complete game you saw from the Packers. This is my take.
Yeah.
It's the most complete game that you saw from the Packers, but your problems are far from being placed in the rear view. And you saw in 2011 that this is not necessarily a sustainable winning formula.
Yes, I was just going to say, I mean, I think it's real in that sense that explosive offense and a suspect defense that gets turnovers.
Yeah. And, man, I don't know. I don't know. Mirage, no. You saw them winning a game they needed to win on the road in the division. That's real. And, they did pile it on after not being able to at all the other games this season. I think it has partly to do with it being a common opponent and a division game. So yeah, that's hard, man. Yeah. I feel like we won't really see what this Packers team is about until they get out of the division. This is just so weird to see them play 3 division games in a row like this. It is always a little different identity when you're playing within the division to like an uncommon opponent, like the Dolphins,
it's like fighting with your brother as opposed to fighting some
guy.
It's
different,
you know?
Some dude at a bar who says that he's up on the pool table even though your quarters are there first, man.
It's bullshit, man.
Fucking Viking.
But to those Vikes, they matched right up here at 2-2 with us and the Bears at home against the Falcons, and first start for rookie Teddy Bridgewater. And though he exited the game with an ankle injury, which all reports sign is not too serious, still play on a short week. What that means for Thursday, whether he's in or out, 100%, what have you. But they did it.
Yeah, they sure did.
Against an explosive Falcons offense, but a very, by all accounts, weak Falcons D. But what you kind of take a look at that. What would you walk away with that game?
I mean, it's just so weird. You never expected the Adrian Peterson stuff to happen, and you figured that was just going to be their identity no matter who was in there at quarterback. So you take him out of the equation, man, I mean, it's been interesting to see what they do. Bridgewater gets in there, puts up over 300 yards passing. Did not expect that. And the Vikings had 4 rushing touchdowns, one of them from Bridgewater, another one from Matt Asiago. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, and to the other guy, what was his name? It was Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
Mike Glennon, running back for the Vikings. He had a tremendous day rushing. Is that Atlanta defense noteworthy? Are they any good? Hi there.
How you doing?
We got some pregame going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little recap, a little preview.
You wanna be on NBC? It's one of those things where the Vikings are pretty much feeling like nobody believes in them. They're going to start to rally around. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater hurt his ankle. They don't know if he's going to start. It's got the makings of a spirited team right now. Guys who you don't know, and it was probably a good team victory. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to give the Vikings credit, but there are some playmakers out there on that team. At safety, you got Garrison Smith, who hauled in a interception that kind of iced it. And then their kicker, Blair Witch. I can't do it, dude. Had 4 of 5 on the kicks. Missed one from 49. Nailed one from 55 outside.
Yeah.
That guy's a really good kicker. The sequels suck though.
Yeah. Kind of. Where do you go beyond that first one?
Yeah, you go to Hollywood. Overproduction. Michael Bay.
I have a feeling in this game with us now saying, okay, this is Rodgers' team, this is his show, and a possibly slowed down or tweaked Bridgewater, and knowing the importance of home, being back home after 2 weeks away. I mean, I think we're going to continue building the momentum, and Minnesota Vikings will take a step back. So I am going to give us a 33-19 Packers.
Well. Predicting a Packers victory. They gotta win this game. They I don't know. You can say it's not mathematically a must win, but you have to win against this crappy team.
At home.
At home. Rookie quarterback who's like banged up. I don't think Bridgewater's gonna be super mobile. He had 5 carries for 27 yards against the Falcons. I don't know how many of those were really designed or not, if they were scrambles or whatever. Either way, the run threat from their quarterback is not going to be as much of a threat. A good pocket passer, though, and some dudes stepping up at the receiver position. This Packers team is they're gonna put up some points. Not super worried about that Minnesota defense right now. This could really be kind of a similar game to the one that we just saw. I will say Packers 38, Vikings 16. No. You said 19.
You said it.
I said it.
It's like chess.
Or like a multiple choice thing. Go with your first thing, man. All right. Cool. Hey, we are 2-2 predicting. Packers are 2-2.
It's not a coincidence.
No, not at all. Facing a 2-2 Vikings team.
Thursday Night Football, baby.
Yep. Engine brake going on from the trucks behind us.
Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on the boys. We're still waiting. Mike said he might come on. We haven't seen him for a couple weeks now, but
Been a couple weeks.
we miss you. No,
We're still here, Mike.
You haven't called.
Still here.
But looking forward to it. Things will be good.
I'm looking forward to it. You going to the game?
I am not, unless miracles happen. You?
Trying as always. Either way, gonna be watching. Gonna be back doing some more of this next week.
Hopefully with more smiles on the face.
Oh yeah.
But for Matty Day, I'm Tommy Burns.
For Tommy Burns, I am Matty Day, and we were live from Stadium Drive.